From Dodger Stadium, it's time for Dodger Baseball, the Dodgers and the Albuquerque Dukes. Hi, everybody. A very pleasant good evening to you wherever you are. We're at Dodger Stadium. How good it is to be here. How good it is to have a chance to chat with you again after that long, awkward, sometimes embarrassing, and always painful strike. But it's over with, thank goodness. We figure that we'll have some peace in the world as far as the baseball world is concerned for quite some years now. So hopefully let's try and put it out of our minds and concentrate on this great game. This great game that's bigger than the people who play it. It's bigger than the people who run it. It's bigger than the people who talk about it. It's the game, and we're here to see it. In fact, there's a lovely crowd here on hand tonight. Admittedly, the show is for free, and a lot of folks have taken the opportunity to come out to Dodger Stadium and rekindle the old flame that certainly has been out much too long. In looking at the crowd, I can't help but think when I was a kid in New York, growing up in the old Polo Grounds in New York, the best we could do is go to the bleachers, and we'd get about 55 cents. Believe it or not, that's what it cost. And for 55 cents, you'd get a lot of deposit on soda bottles, and you could sit in the bleachers and watch the game. But you know what was really great? If you had the threat of rain. As soon as a couple of drops started, because the bleachers were exposed, they used to open up the grandstand and let us go into the grandstand. And like all kids who ever lived, we'd slowly work our way down to the better seats. And if we're lucky, by the time the game started, well, by gosh, we might even have been in a box seat. Well, the feeling here tonight is that there are a lot of people at Dodger Stadium who are sitting in the lap of luxury. They are in box seats. They're in the best reserved seats, and you know they haven't been there before. And are they loving it? And it brings back a lot of memories for me, and I'm loving it too. We'll have more right after this message. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Los Angeles Dodgers Incorporated, who also employ the announcers. It's intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of the game without the express written permission of the Los Angeles Dodgers Incorporated is prohibited. The exchange of lineup cards with Reggie Smith for the Dodgers and Del Crandall, the manager of Albuquerque, along with the umpires for. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. First of all, with the highly successful Albuquerque Dukes and the crowd saluting the Dodgers as they take the field. For Albuquerque, they had a last-minute change in the outfield, and Tack Wilson is in center field. Jack Perconti, who has already played a little bit in the big leagues, will be at second base. Ron Renicky will be in left field. Mike Marshall, the kid with the label can't miss, will be at first base. And the same story for the right fielder, Candy Maldonado. Gary Weiss, who has played in the big leagues, will be at shortstop. Larry Fobbs, F-O-B-B-S, will be at third base. Don Crow, C-R-O-W, behind the plate. And Brian Holton, H-O-L-T-O-N, is the pitcher. He's out of McKeesport, Pennsylvania. Brian has won 13 and lost 6, and he's completed 8. The Dodger lineup, no surprises. They go with their best. So Davey Lopes, the all-star second baseman, leading off. Kenny Landreau is in center field, and Dusty Baker hitting third in left field. Steve Garvey in the cleanup spot at first, and Ron Cey will be at third. Pedro Guerrero is in right field. Mike Scioscia, who spent a good bit of his young time at Albuquerque, will be behind the plate. Bill Russell, the shortstop, and Jerry Royce, the pitcher. Royce was 5-2 before the strike. So here comes Tack Wilson, and there's Steve Garvey at first. Davey Lopes at second, and he'll be starting in Cleveland. The shortstop is Bill Russell. And the third baseman is Ron Cey, and Jerry Royce is just about ready to make his first pitch to Tack Wilson.